Welcome everyone, this is Polyphenols and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at lasers and LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda,
Hello.
Guarendes,
Hello, everyone.
and Krister.
Hello.
Hello there and welcome back, Where?
Thank you.
And let's head into our game news where we have another beta for this week. This is beta number 2 for update 34. And I'll just go over the changes for this week, where in Delvings, monsters and Delvings may display the ability to sense your presence at a greater distance and may call friends from a greater distance when they are engaged. So if you dig too deep, the monsters can see you from a longer distance, apparently.
How big is the hole? Sorry.
All right. And dread now spreads through any area that is affected by a malice greater than tier 2. Oh, we're back to dread. Ooh, how dreadful. I guess you'll need some hope tokens if you're going to go above malice tier 2 then.
Dread spread. Isn't that the equivalent of Marmite?
I don't know. I've actually used Marmite in crockpot recipes to make it seem like I actually browned the meat when I didn't want to take the time. That's about the only thing it's useful for, though. You don't want to use too much of it or it's Marmite.
Is that like using antifreeze to make wine? Is that?
This is exactly that. And the color is just unbelievable when the sun is shining through it.
All delving should now share with fellowship members appropriately, and all delving's initial quests can now be turned into any mission giver found in the Beyond the Shadow expansion. And for Brawlers, skirmish camp vendors now sell Brawler weapons.
Yay!
Finally! And as for burglars, find footing is no longer an immediate skill.
Huh.
While the reveal weakness debuff can only affect a single monster once, multiple burglars can now toggle reveal weakness on the same monster simultaneously so that they each gain the benefit of the unique effect from reveal weakness traits.
Excellent.
I'm sorry, I was just laughing because all I was thinking is find footing is never an immediate skill for me either. I'm going, where is it?
Right? Well, I was just thinking, how long will they be laying there going, I've fallen and I can't get up before they can find their footing again?
There's a reason why I put the escape skill in the exact same spot for every character I've got.
Right?
I don't know what they're called necessarily for the character, but I know that's where the escape skill is at. Improved feint attack, gambler's advantage, and aim should no longer cause skill delays or hitching when used in sequence with one another. Improved feint attack once again correctly allows the use of trip in combat. And improved feint attack description updated so it no longer implies that it doesn't give you normal stealth combat benefits. And also, Purge Corruption now correctly benefits from buffs to critical chain skills. As for champions, added the Fight on Critical Chance tracery for all rarities and levels to the champion tracery profile. Alright. And Lore Masters updated the effects of the Peridonian essence of nature and knowledge. As for monsters, new multiplayer blessings should no longer be removed on defeat or MP.
Monster player.
Oh, monster player. Oh boy. Shows you how much I do monster player. I can't even remember its acronym. Yeah, new monster player blessings should no longer be removed on defeat. Alright. Angmar's forces in towers, keeps, and control point locations grow weaker. we overtune them too much, and we want them roughly to be the same as their free people counterparts.
Rats. No, this is probably a good change, but I think it's funny.
Orc Reaper Devastating Strike's morale threshold is once again 50% rather than 40%. All free people armor and jewelry earned through PvP is no longer restricted to use only in the Entomorphs. I think some people had some problems of their gear disappearing as soon as they left the moors.
That could be
The Emperor's
embarrassing.
new clothes, right?
Yes. So I guess they're going to try to find another solution for that. Maybe set bonuses disappear or something like that. All map skills to locations in the Etmoors for monster players now share a 10-minute cooldown.
What?
Arr,
Why in the
what?
world would you
Yeah,
do this?
That's not
that's
good.
stupid.
This is dumb.
That
I mean,
I
unless
don't
they're
even
going to give us
comprehend that.
horses.
Actually, I think
Maybe they'll give us horses?
I think that there
Oh.
were enough.
I'm a warg. How am I going to
Yeah,
ride a horse?
yeah. I think there was enough outcry on this that I think they may be taking that one back in the next build.
I hope so.
Where you're obviously going to have inline skates.
I mean,
Okay.
already all the maps of a certain quality share the same cooldown,
Yeah, and that's fine.
which is
but
plenty
that was part of the
restriction of our
flexibility.
movement.
I glide across the landscape anyway when I'm in stealth and as a warg, so.
Well, yes, but like if you need to get somewhere fast, you need to be able to get
Precisely.
somewhere fast.
Yeah,
I mean-
that was the flexibility. That was kind of there was tactics about that as well too. So.
And a benefit to getting the higher level maps so that you have a faster
Yep.
cooldown on them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
I mean,
frustrating.
You work hard to get the nicer maps and you're taking that away from us? Yeah.
Though if they want to give us instant free transport to the locations that the maps used to take us to on cooldowns, I wouldn't complain nearly as much.
They're gonna claw my Thomas Guide out of my cold dead paws.
Cool.
Sure.
All right. Well, we'll see what they eventually decide to do.
I'd say
for
that was a generally negatively received update. Finally,
I believe it was, not very well received, and I think they are going to be tweaking that one more time.
Since
I hope
since
they
Pine,
tweak it majorly.
since Pine just faced three people who don't normally talk about playing monsters all the time with pitchforks going. "Arr, arr, arr."
I'm just the messenger.
Just a messenger, yes. Oh, yes, that could be a little problem. Then let's head into quests and instances. Miniquest items involved in Before the Shadow have been made usable while mounted. Right. Skills of an Adventurer Burglar. This quest will now advance properly with Gambler Surprise Strike is used, as well as Standard Stealthed or Surprise Strike. And I should also note they fixed a bug with skills of an Adventurer Lore Master, which was not working at all in the previous build, so that's now working properly. Mission, they fixed a couple of things with the new missions, and I'll go into that since those missions aren't live yet anyway. All missions out of Hearn, Kluger, and Andrath now have a final step of finding the scout. So I guess they want to make that more consistent of finding the scout at the end so that people remember to go and find the scout. Because one of the problems people had is they were forgetting to find the scout, and because of that, they were failing the delving that was attached to it.
That would be frustrating.
Yeah, so some people were getting frustrated with that, so I can understand why they were taking care of that. And most of these things that we're talking about, all these fixes they're making to the missions that aren't live yet in any case. Now, for general updates, Enemy power drains now scale in line with player power at higher levels. Thank you very much.
Wait, our power getting drained or us draining power from other people?
They're talking about our power getting. If you noticed, currently on live, enemy power drains are being scaled to your morale rather than to your power. As a result, as soon as they put a power drain on you on the first tick, you have 0 power.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
really
You're right.
Stand there and
You're
go,
right.
okay,
Yeah,
I guess I'll just stand here till I slowly die.
yeah. So unless you're Bjorning, you got problems whenever that
You have
happens.
no power. Yeah.
I think, yes, I find myself like, for example, if there's one of those totems that are put down by defilers, if I have to try to get out of the area of the totem, wait for a tick for enough power so that now I could try to destroy the totem with a range kill.
Yeah, there's a reason why when I'm on my main running with the captain, I don't care what he's targeting. I immediately switch to the defiler and burn it down before when the totems come out. It's like, you are going down, buddy.
Yes, and I did run the deep barrow, which is
Oh Lord.
which is a notorious one, just to test to make sure that it was being scaled properly. And it was the first time I think I've ever run the deep barrow without instantly losing power whenever.
Well, that's promising.
Yes, and because it looked like it was ticking down at a reasonable rate. In other words, enough to scare you, but not enough in order to make you all destroyed or anything like that. So yes, it looks like they did rescale it properly, based on what I've seen so far. And race changing to High Elf after having achieved friend reputation with the Galadrim will no longer prevent you from earning the virtuous High Elf trait. And that is it for the updates this week. And I expect there to be one more beta next week where maybe they'll have everything ready, because I noticed that the skirmish that seems to be getting to be closer to being finished. They seem to have most of the encounters in there. I think they might have all the encounters in there. I think there's one boss they still need to complete. I think after that, everything else seems to be looking fine on that one. Missions, well, after all the changes they made this week, I'm sure they'll have a couple more tweaks this week to do. Because in about 10 days, we are going to expect the update to go live, assuming nothing catastrophic happens. And that's it for Bowler update number 2. So let's go and see what's on sale this week. Queridus, what's on sale?
Well, prepare for battle. You get 25% off stat tomes, regeneration food, run speed boosts, and attack speed boosts now through November the 3rd. And this week's weekly coupon is what I always fondly think of as the Sanswindus special. It is free fall injury immunity times 5 with the code FALLIMMUNE5, the number FALLIMMUNE5, now through November 3rd.
I thought it was going to be a bag of spiders.
No. Why would Sanswindle want this? Yuck.
That would be pretty special if you gave it to her, let's put it that way.
Yes, and this is something that's... So get this is going to be the last week where that's critically important, because the updates and update 34 is going to be reduction in the time in which fall injuries last. So
you haven't ran with Sans on landscape lately with Worsteeds, have you, Pine? Still
He
might be
avoids that
necessary.
even if I am on a worse steed. He'll just be like, I'll just use my regular steed and get there when I get there. He avoids many falls that way.
part of riding a horse is the exhilaration to know that you might die at any moment.
The exhilaration of
Right?
sailing out gracefully
That's my favorite thing.
forward
That almost always
over a
happens on
cliff and
accident.
then falling
When you don't
like
think
Wile E. Coyote.
that it's a cliff right there, and you're like, I'm just going, and oh, oops, as you sail off.
I love that moment though, that you're like, okay, I miscalculated.
Right? And then you've got to
Mistakes
decide,
were made.
like, am I going to die, or is this going to turn out well? And you have no idea or control in that moment, especially if you were going at full speed.
Let's head into our week in gaming. Krister, what were you up to?
Well, our raid did not go as planned last night. What is hysterically fun about Ploy is that we are all good players and we're good raiders. However, we always get to this point where we start to feel even a minuscule bit of confidence, and then the game decides, well, you guys are obviously full of yourselves, and then the next time we do something. So we were going to do T3 Boss 1 for Hidden Horde, and we were feeling pretty confident up to the bosses because the trash pulls went very smoothly. We didn't lose anybody, but we got annihilated. The boss fight, it was really bad. So we switched to T2 Boss 1, and it was just bad luck because in that boss fight, everything can change dramatically if you get a bagged knockback and 2 or 3 people go off the side. Then that changes the context of that fight completely. And so we tried that a few times, and every time we got 3 to 4 people knocked off the platform, making it impossible for us. So last night was a night of defeat.
Because you've been getting that through Boss 1 T2 with absolutely no trouble for the last couple of months.
It's been smooth as butter. So I think once in a while the game just slaps us in the face and says, "Okay, you guys still need to work on things and pay attention."
It looks like you accidentally bought the chunky peanut butter there.
But yeah, so we were laughing about it because it was just it just wasn't our night, So so it went that way. That wasn't too bad though. We're going to give it another shot because, of course, what's really nice about if we can get the boss down in T3, Boss 1, that's a different set of equipment that drops as well. So that's another opportunity for everybody to get a little bit better. And that's usually how it goes with those raids is we struggle, we die, we lose, but everybody gets something, or a couple people get a ring or a piece of equipment, and then eventually everybody's equipped to a point where it makes a difference. So we'll just be banging our heads against it next Friday and see. And then in ESO, I got my my Lizard Dragon Knight up to max level now, and he is awesome. He breathes fire everywhere, which is exactly what I wanted. And then, of course, my Exploding Orc, his gambling, he's got his gambling under control now. But now he dresses up and he looks absolutely, this is so cool. He looks terrifying with his skull mask on. And then he looks kind of almost like a cool Japanese anime character because I got this owl mask. I'll just have to post a picture of it. This owl mask, he puts this owl mask on, and I can't describe it, but he looks so cool. This is my opinion, though. I might be delusional, but I think he looks cool, so I'll have to see what you guys think. And then this week I reloaded, because I haven't played it in a long time, and I enjoyed it immensely. I reloaded Subnautica, and that game is superb. If you are terrified of deep water, play that game. You will be stressed out the entire time. It is one of the more unique gaming experiences I've had. So that was my week. And Guare, what did you get up to?
Well, in LOTRO, my Hobbit lawnmower, which is what I'm calling my little champion, dinged level 45 today and hasn't yet started collecting any book pages because she just now started doing some stuff in the Trollshaws. So, whoops.
What did the pages get you?
Well, the pages currently would give me trait points, but that's going to kind of go away.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's going to be anything replacing that.
Ah,
And it's kind of fun running around collecting the pages and killing things anyway. But I bought my books at level 39, but yeah, I was still playing catch up on questing. And she's also she's a yeoman, so yeah, I gotta be very diligent about putting the tortoise stone in when I'm doing crafting or things just get out of hand. But I've been thinking about it. I mean, I need to think about getting her LI soon, and then I guess I'll go to Angmar. but, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I've been playing some with a lore master that I created outside of the one that I created for Girls of Middle Earth because I was having so much fun with it, particularly since the wild paw bear is about twice again as tall as my hobbit is at the shoulder. I did the token where it's even larger than the regular bear you get when you start, and that just pleases me for ridiculous reasons. I also did attend 2 memorials on 2 different servers for a prominent member of the LOTRO community that I'm sure you know passed away, Chromite. I was over on Evernight with Stina's guild last Sunday when they did that. I had I have a little tiny baby character over there, but I went over and joined Stina and Gumps and ones that I've known for a long time. And then last night was Landreval's um, memorial, and that was actually at his house in the Hatbrook neighborhood. He and Noodly made an amazing neighborhood. If you're on Landreval, pop over to Breland Homestead sometime and poke in and out of the houses in Hatbrook. Um, they're all fun and quirky, and it's amazing how Noodly put everything together. Yeah, it was nice to see a lot of people that I recognize from Twitch chats that I know are normally on other servers, but had characters over here with the same names that over here on Landerval that I saw there. In possibly happier news here, in ESO, Ms. Shiny is over 1300 CP. Actually, I think I'm getting close to
Congrats.
1350 tonight. That's with the help of a few other level 50, 160 CP characters. I have 4 now. I power leveled my Necro after the High Isle event that gave us the double XP for a week. So I have 4 now. Also, the Shiny Duo have started working through all the dungeons that they missed when they were originally leveling. You know, as you level up, unlock this dungeon, unlock that dungeon. They're on normal, but we're still enjoying seeing new things. Yeah, eventually I keep thinking I'm just going through we're just going through the list. I made a list of the ones in order that they bestow them to you before you hit level 50. And I'm wondering whether we're going to get to a point where it's too difficult for us to do it with our companions. We haven't found it yet. We're about halfway through the list. And it was a lot easier to get the weekly done doing 6 dungeons rather than 20 world bosses. Sans, what have you got up to this week?
Well, this week I got that hairstyle in the ESO logging in rewards thing.
Hey, hair!
Yeah. And I maxed the mount speed for my alt who's been logging in for the rewards. So that was pretty cool.
Congrats. Excellent.
Yay!
And I did the festival quest in Final Fantasy XIV and got the cosmetics. So that was pretty fun and pretty short. I've come to appreciate that their festivals have just a short little quest chain that gets you the cool new cosmetic stuff, and then a repeatable thing that you can do like as much as you want after that. So that's pretty cool. And that was pretty much my week, because it was pretty busy in real life. How was your week, Pineleaf?
great. I will start on my Langeable Hunter, who reached 129, and I just took the quests that are involved with the Elder Slade and the Legacy of Durin. So I'm starting on the Legacy of Durin. working all the way through that. Hoping to hit 130 soon so I could get into Gundabad and have some serious work in that area. And for the field trip, we ran quests in Enid White, and we got all the way up to the part where Sheridan's about to send you on to the Stone of Erech, the session play for that. So he's about to send you into a session play. And we thought, okay, do we really want to do a session play right now, or could we wait for 2 weeks when these session plays are going to be turned into optional and we could skip them? So we decided to run a couple of skirmishes after that. And after that, we had Friday Night Fights. On Friday Night Fights, we ran the stairs. Then we ran several skirmishes. Then when the group broke up and we were left with only 2, we decided to finish up with Puglach.
Deep.
Deep, yes. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@loachplayers.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Alliance, Loach at Loach Players, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Sanswinda at Sanswinda, Guarendis at Guarendis, and Krister at Entropy Engine 1. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have Loach Players News, and we record at DDO Players News when Drac is available. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.